Hey guys, welcome to Get Busy Watching. I'm your host, Honest Dan. Let's talk movies.
Relax, be cool, cause if you don't, you'll act like a fool, so be cool.
MGM is a steaming pile of corporate filth. Yeah, that's my opening to this video. Sorry, had to set the tone for what we're all in store for. I will circle back around to that statement toward the end of the video, but for now, I feel like reviewing it and talking about it is of the utmost importance, so let's get to it. This is my honest opinion of MINAMATA. Based on true events and set in 1971, W. Eugene Smith, played by Johnny Depp, is a world-weary photographer for Life magazine. He's paid a visit by a Japanese woman named Eileen, played by Minami Hinase, who ultimately pleads with Gene to come to Minamata, Japan, which is currently ravaged by the Minamata disease. The Chiso Corporation has been dumping their toxic waste into the ocean for years, and the natives have unwittingly ingested mercury, which has resulted in terrible side effects. Eventually accepting the offer to tag along, Gene and Eileen spend their time taking photos of the damage done by the waste and those affected. However, the deeper they dig to expose the truth, the more dramatic measures the Chiso Corporation takes to silence them.
This is the story, Bob. You know this is the story.
I'm not sending you.
What? Why not?
Damn. This was heart-wrenching. Provocative. Look at me using elite vocabulary, but it's true. If you were looking for a movie that was going to make you angry, break your heart, and hate every piece of corporate cancer that plagues and literally kills this planet, yeah, this'll do the trick. Is it a flawless film? Sadly, no. But it's not enough to make it a deterrent necessarily. We'll get there, but they are worth pointing out. Let's get the easy one out of the way. I've been pretty critical of Johnny Depp's film choices over the last few years, mostly because they've been kind of garbage. He was great in Black Mass, I'll give him credit for that one. But before and after, those were the dark years. Kind of a dark decade if we're honest. So, with a skip in my step, I am so happy to say that this is his best performance since Black Mass, since Finding Neverland.
It's about time.
While I was never that huge a fan of the guy, he's churned out some truly wonderful roles in the past, so I think it's great to see him in something that even I can really get behind. Early on in the story, Depp is so sick of the world, his job, his boss, just everything, and drinks alone in the dark in his room. I'm not entirely convinced that Gene Smith isn't my new spirit animal. Don't worry, Orla, you could never truly be replaced. Watch Dairy Girls on Netflix or we can't be friends.
Well, look, I'm gonna have to level with you. I have consumed quite a whole lot of alcohol.
And what I really like about his character is that he's not overtly uncomfortable about being around those that have been deformed by the corporation's crap. I have two favorite scenes with Gene. The first is when he drunkenly gives this kid his camera, who happily takes it despite his obvious struggles. But Gene is also bearing his soul to the kid. He clearly can't understand him, but it's such a cute yet disturbing moment of how the man's life up to this point has affected him. The things he's seen and experienced as a photographer, how the events playing out now are bringing that all back to him. He nearly derails the entire purpose of being there by giving away his only real weapon to combat the Chiso Corporation.
Click. And most important, fuck up. Fuck up, because that's the only way to learn.
The other great scene is when he's asked to watch over Tomoko, the daughter of a woman that Eileen knows, so that they can go to the market. At first, he's adamant that he doesn't want to be responsible for her for any amount of time. Can't exactly blame the guy, I wouldn't want to be either. It's not like the average Joe would know how fragile she would be and how easy it would be to screw up. That can be some intense pressure to put on anyone who isn't prepared for it. But then a second later, we cut to him cradling her in his arms, hanging out, and having eased into it pretty well. The most adorable part is when he rubs his beard on Tomoko's hand, and you can see the faintest smile on her face. It's such a cute character moment that really stood out to me.
Fuzzy? Fuzzy Wuzzy?
Perfect segue into the next positive. This movie is not afraid of making the audience uncomfortable with the cold-hearted truth. I don't want it to sound like this movie gives you gratuitous runtime with those that have been deformed or anything, though there is a level of intimacy that the film wants the audience to have with these people. From those affected less severely to those more so. But more importantly, the truth of how these corporations think and feel. When the corporate CEO, or whoever that guy was, gives Gene a tour of the factory, he has probably the most convincing tone that the toxic waste is not so toxic at all. That they take measures in ensuring that the waste is properly cleaned or whatever. Basically, doing the oldest trick in the corporate handbook and trying to show themselves as the responsible good guys. And just as I'm about to vomit and scream at my TV, a colorful array of expletives that would make a Tarantino film blush, the movie has an answer for me that instead makes me laugh. Moments after Gene calls the CEO guy out on his crap, the CEO guy does one of the most impressive 180 tonal changes I've seen in a while. He tells Gene that he knows of his debts and troubles, offering him a ton of money to shut up and, oh, what did he say again?
And let what is happening here play out here in Minamata, in the community and courts where it belongs.
Yes, the heroic best friend corporate shill realized that he's about as convincing as a centipede trying to convince you it's cute and cuddly and wants you to give it a hug. No. It's not at all a dangerous, disgusting, segmented manifestation of your deepest, darkest night terrors. That all comes crashing down when he suddenly has some venom to threaten with. Corporations are gross.
You know, for a second there, I thought you and I was going to be good pals, but I can see now that I was sadly mistaken because you, sir, are full of fucking shit.
But aside from Johnny, he's matched by the amazingly talented Minami. She delivers a performance that is so welcomingly warm and down to earth. In a movie this heavy and gut-churning, she is a constant breath of fresh, spunky air. Without the sheer weight of the material and the grumpy old man that Gene is, I would say that Eileen is little more than just a routine nice character. There is some truth to that, but a personality like hers is sorely needed when the audience is bludgeoned with corporate gaslighting and health issues related to toxic waste. She's a soft presence and a downright hug for both your eyes and soul. While intensely passionate about getting the truth out into the world of what's happening to her home, she doesn't have, say, Hiroyuki Sanada's intense anger, but that's what makes her so great in her own way.
It literally destroys brain tissue. And for 15 years they knew.
Yeah. Gotta talk about the negatives. I don't wanna, but I gotta. Sadly, the structure of the film hits nearly every single movie beat, if that makes sense. What I mean is, savvy viewers may be able to easily point where the movie starts and the true events end. At the end of the day, every single based on true events story has to be taken with a grain of salt. This is not news. Unless the people of the true story are still alive to fact check, there's not exactly an easy way to verify what was actually true versus what was dramatized for dramatic purposes. Who knows if Gene Smith really was initially reluctant to cover the Minamata disease? Who knows if the Japanese government actually set fire to his photographs? I mean, if you've read the book this movie's based on, please let me know what you learned. The point is, of course the reluctant hero has a puss-out moment when the going gets too hard and calls it quits. Of course he has a drunken outburst, and of course he ends up having a change of heart and gets back in the game. Oh, how wonderful, how uplifting, how structured like a movie. What I'm driving at is, I wonder what was true, and therefore, why was it changed? Perhaps I'm wrong. I'd be happy to be wrong. But I don't believe that Jean pussed out and only came back into the fold because of a quick photography lesson. What can I say? Noticing creative liberties when I watch true stories has become an irritation for me in recent years.
I'm not really here to give photography classes, especially to kids.
This also kind of leans into some pretty obvious indie art house moments. I mean, look at this. The man is laying on his couch underneath a bright lamp. Tell me this doesn't scream to you, I am an artiste, therefore I must do an art. Shots like that just really tickle me because I don't know a single human being who does this.
Don't waste what time you got left.
You're a dick, Bob.
So I'm going to give you my rating for the film and then I'm going to go off on MGM. Yes, this does feel like a movie at times, instead of just being a recreation of the actual events. But when the filmmakers actually set out to do what they intended to do, it is powerful and quite moving. Definitely not for the faint of heart, but an important watch to be sure. Even if some of the facts are kind of bent and distorted to kind of fit a storytelling structure, and apparently that is kind of a concern that the people of Minamata really have with this movie, I can still see this being kind of a springboard for some viewers to actually do their own research into what really happened. Still, on those grounds alone, I highly recommend and even implore you to give this a chance. My honest rating for Minamata, a strong 4 out of 5.
Focus on the photograph you want to take. Focus on what you want to say. Do it now.
Time to come full circle and talk about the behind-the-scenes stuff regarding the flick. I think everyone at least has a passing understanding of the drama between Johnny and his now ex-monster wife and the clear side that Hollywood has taken. MGM has not been any different. Because of all this between Johnny and that blonde garbage fire masquerading as a human being, MGM is afraid that said publicity would negatively affect Minamata. I'm assuming both in terms of commercial and critical success. As a result, MGM has opted to do the corporate thing and has actively attempted to bury the film. They've decided to fulfill their legal obligation to release the film in some capacity, but nothing more. This decision has not been well received. Chief among them is the director of the film, Andrew Levitas. Now, what enrages me, and you can probably guess where I'm going with this, is the stomach-churning irony. MGM, a film corporation, is trying to ignore a film about the plight of these Japanese people who have been ignored by an evil corporation. Twice over now, once by their own people and now by an American company, the people of Minamata are being silenced. Sure, they can tell me all day long it's not about them, but about Johnny, but that's about the weakest sauce you could ever try to spoon feed me. Because of the personal issues of one actor, somehow that needs to outshine the importance of getting this story out into the world and let people know the destruction caused by big companies who don't care about normal people and the damage they do. Quite frankly, this is a disgusting mindset. The people of Minamata deserve better. Well, MGM, you were half right. Your movie was affected financially because I didn't pay to watch it. You don't have my money. And I'm telling you right now, it's not because of Johnny, it's because of you. I urge everyone to do the same. If you can find it online for free, believe me, it's not that difficult to locate, then I encourage this. Plus, it would be freaking hilarious if this ended up being a Streisand effect. I can't tell you how much I would laugh like a crazy person. And if I can contribute to that being a reality, then I'm happy to be a part of the struggle. Thanks for sticking around for all that, y'all. I've been pretty anti-corporate lately, so of course I'm down for a movie that sticks it to the evil corporate leeches of the world. But you're free now. Check out whatever new Ryan George video is out to give yourself a little peppy boost. Have a great day, guys. Stay safe and healthy out there. Hope to see you soon. One final caveat as you guys move on with your day, I've decided to test my luck at a Patreon, so please consider supporting the channel. No obligations, of course, no content is gated off, but any and all contributions would mean a lot. Link in the description. Have a great one, folks.